Okay. Hello everybody, this is Pikachu Master 542 with another exciting video. Today, we're going to be watching the final part of Kingdom Hearts Recoded in our Kingdom Hearts Recoded movie watch-along, in which this will be the final part. So excited because we only have three clips to watch left. So, sit back, relax, and get something to drink to watch this awesome adventure end or unfold. Also, here are my plushies of the day. This is Mickey Mouse, Pikachu, and Winnie the Pooh with Piglet. So let's switch to the TV cam. Let me adjust this for a second, and now we can.
Who are you? Oh. It's like when I met Mickey. I don't know you, but you're familiar.
Nice to meet you, Sora. I am Nomine. You may not know who it is I am, but I know things about you.
So what exactly is going on here?
Sora, maybe I can explain.
I need to fix the. Okay, perfect.
There was a time when you lost every one of your memories. But everything turned out to be okay because Naminé helped you through it.
Wow, you really did that for me, Naminé? You deserve a big thanks.
No, I don't. I put your memories back together. That part is true. But it was also me. I was the one who took them apart in the first place.
Huh?
Not only that, the reason all of the bugs appeared in Jiminy's journal, that was me.
What?
Oh.
Tell us what you mean.
It all began with these memories that were sleeping way down deep, deep in Sora's heart.
These are my memories?
Actually, no, they're not yours. They belong to people who are connected to you.
Huh? Isn't it weird for somebody else's memories to be inside me?
Yes. Usually it's impossible. When I first found them while repairing your memory, I thought I had made some sort of mistake. But then, after searching for answers, all the evidence I found proved they belong in your heart. Sora will have to awaken these memories, but this is where they will sleep until that time comes. They are important, and yet dangerous too.
Naminé, how are they dangerous?
These memories, all of them are too painful. Handled the wrong way, they could damage Sora's heart, even break it. That's why I needed for Sora to find a way to face that kind of hurt. So I left the message for all of you.
Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. That was you. You're the one who left us that message.
When I unraveled Sora and the others' memories, it also erased the words in Jiminy's journal. That book was filled with pages and pages of memories from your first adventure. It shows how deeply the journal and Sora are connected. When I took Sora's memories apart, they stayed in his heart. It may have looked like they were gone, but they were there the whole time. Even after the text disappeared from the journal, the memories remained. That's why you were able to render them as data.
Yeah, but the data we got was a mess. And then all those bugs appeared. Jiminy never wrote about any bugs.
That was... me too. When I added these memories to the journal, I also added all this hurt. I thought that maybe if you fought the bugs that sprang from these memories, you might learn to face the hurt in the memories themselves.
So that's what it was. I didn't realize you had to go through so much trouble to get us to investigate this hurt nominee.
I'm sorry. I wish I could have told you this in person. But the real me is gone. She doesn't exist now.
Guys? You kinda lost me a few minutes ago.
You don't have to understand it. You have already learned how to face the hurt, Sora.
I did?
You most certainly did. At times, the pain can be wiped away. But there's also a pain that always stays with you. There's only one way to deal with that. You face it head on, and then you accept it. And if it happens that the hurt is too great for you to bear it alone, well, then you turn to a friend close to your heart.
Oh. It'll bring us closer together. The hurt will only make us stronger. I'm willing to try. I'm ready to face all those memories that you found. It might have to be painful, but I can take it.
Sora!
Wait. You're not in this alone. Always remember, I'm here too.
Yep.
Thank you. Just touch this. Don't be afraid. You'll feel all of the memories that are locked inside flow right into your hearts.
Uh-huh.
Sora, be strong.
These are hidden truths. Sora has been keeping them locked away, deep inside of him. Remember, these memories you're feeling, they don't belong to him.
Nominee, that's you. Who's the other girl? She feels so familiar. And something happened. Something terrible, didn't it?
They're waiting for Sora. He's the only one who can put an end to their hurt. Diz told me he hid something inside you during the year you were asleep. I asked him what, and all he would say was that he was clearing his conscience. Sora must be the key to saving the people you saw, and the ones you're about to see.
It can't be.
Maybe you know how much they're hurting. These three were keys too. They were connected to the Keyblade's truth. And they're still connected, Sora. Somewhere way down deep inside of you.
Funny. I feel as though I've met them.
Yes, 2 of them you have met. As for the third, I never realized it, but you and he share a very special connection.
Yeah.
Nominate, you said Sora has to call these memories to the surface. Is it time?
I can't say for sure, but I do know. A day will come when they must rise from their sleep, and then the only one who can save them will be Sora.
The bond they all share. That's gonna be the key, right? Don't worry, Nominate. I'll make sure I pass this on to Sora. You know, the one in the outside world.
Please do.
Okay.
Well,
Just a second.
huh?
Our promise. Your promise to the me I don't know. You kept it, right?
I may be gone, but my promises to him are forever. And anyway, I owe this much. For all those people that I hurt.
So what happens to you? The one that's right here?
I'm really just data made to pass along a message. I shouldn't exist right now in this journal at all. And now the record of me will disappear. But when you pass my message on to the other Sora, just remember to tell him the things that you've seen and that you felt. If you do that, then we'll be at rest, her and me too.
Along with everybody connected to Sora. Nominee, you got it. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. I have a message for you too. Thank you.
And so ended our journey to connect those memories with these. Sora, when Nominee's words are passed on to you, when the day comes that you learn of this great, unknown, and mysterious adventure, it's important that you understand, whatever you feel in your heart, that's what he felt in his.
Damn. Okay, so that's the end. Or like, well, this is like the ending. I'll be right back. Alright. So, yeah. Now, here's the credits of all the people that worked on the game, including the voice guys and also the designers and everybody that worked on it. Oh, that was a fantastic movie. Maybe I'll buy the game someday. Mm.
I wanted to tell you right away about memories from the past that sleep within you, and about the pieces that will tie you to your future. Sora, Riku, Kairi. The truth behind the Keyblade has found its way through so many people, and now I know that it rests in your hearts. Sora, you are who you are because of those people, but they're hurting, and you're the only one who can end their sadness. They need you. It's possible that all your journeys so far have been preparing you for this great new task that's waiting for you. I should have known there were no coincidences, only links in a much larger chain of events. And now the door to your next journey is ready to be opened.
Kingdom Hearts Recoded.
Sid. I think we're finally close to figuring out what Ven's heart is.
Is that so? Then that leaves only Terra.
Right. And we've got to save all three of them.
The question is, what does Xehanort intend to do next?
Xehanort? But his two halves are gone. There is Ansem, who commanded the Heartless, and Xemnas, who commanded the Nobodies. Didn't Sora defeat them both?
Correct. Those two met their end. However, therein lies exactly our problem. Their destruction now guarantees the original Xehanort's reconstruction.
Huh?
Xehanort's heart, once seized by his heartless half, is now free. And his body, which had become his nobody, has been vanquished. Both halves will now be returned to the whole. In short, this means Master Xehanort will return.
And you think that maybe he's gonna try something?
A man like Xehanort will have left many roads open.
Well, it doesn't matter what he cooks up. Me and Sora, we'll be ready. And Riku too.
Yes, they are indeed strong, but not true Keyblade masters like you. Tell me, would a single one of you suffice if what you faced was not a single one of him?
What? What do you mean?
Mickey, please summon Sora hither. Riku as well.
Of course, but why?
To show us the mark of mastery.
Alright, and that's it. Now let's go through the character bios. Sora, a boy chosen by a strange sword called a Keyblade. After his island home was lost to the darkness, he joined forces with Donald, Goofy, and Mickey and saved all worlds. All these adventures were carefully recorded in Jiminy's journals. Inside the datascape, generated within the computer, a digital version of the real Sora, Data Sora. Quests in our hero's steed. Donald Duck, a magician in the service of King Mickey, while full of vim and vigor. His short temper sometimes get him into hot water. Donald met the real Sora while on a journey to find Mickey. During the course of their travels, they became fast friends. After reuniting with Mickey and fighting off the hordes of darkness, Donald returned to Disney Castle to enjoy a bit of peace. Goofy, the laid-back captain of King Mickey's Royal Knights. While a bit of a softy, Goofy lacks nothing for courage. He and Donald met the real Sora after leaving Disney Castle to search for Mickey, who has gone missing. Together, they overcame countless dangers and forged a one-of-a-kind friendship. Mickey Mouse, the king of Disney Castle. Just like Sora, he wields a Keyblade. In the past, he traveled from world to world to watch over Sora, Donald, and the others, and guide them in their journey to save all worlds from the forces of darkness. Once the crisis was averted, Mickey returned to Disney Castle to live a peaceful life with his friends there. Jiminy Cricket, the cricket in charge of jotting down everything that goes on in Disney Castle. He also joined Sora on his adventures and kept a record of them in 2 journals. One of those books was almost completely erased. It's a long story, and when a mysterious message appeared in that same book, out of nowhere, well, that's how this latest adventure began. Chip, one of the engineers working at Disney Castle. Dale is his little brother. On Sora's previous journeys, they were in charge of the Gummy Ship, a flying machine which allowed Sora and friends to freely travel between worlds. He and Dale look a lot alike, but you can tell the pair apart by their nose colors and the shape of their front teeth. For instance, Chip has a chip like a chocolate chip cookie. Dale, one of the engineers working at Disney Castle. Chip is his older brother. They are superb technicians, and now they have put on their system admin hats to digitize their journal and find out what's happening inside. He and Chip are sometimes hard to tell apart, but their nose colors and the shape of their front teeth are a dead giveaway. Dale has two buck teeth and a red nose, like a cherry, and also has little frizzy hair on the top. Data Riku, an entity that looks just like I can't read. Data Riku, an entity that looks just like Sora's real friend. Fuck. An entity that looks just like Sora's friend Riku. He is, however, not the real deal. Data Riku was chosen as a sort of ark to keep all the collective data within Jiminy's journal safe from bugs. In a way, he is the journal now, but even he could not explain the cause of the bugs. So after adopting Riku's appearance, he imported Mickey and friends to help solve the mystery. Selfie. Let me take a selfie. Do. A girl from the Destiny Islands, and a friend of Sora's. Selfie isn't one to sit still. Usually she's hanging out with Sora and Waka and the other island boys. She might look like Miss Independent and rely a bit too heavily on her fists, but don't be fooled. What you've got here is a classic closet romantic. Waka, a boy from the Destiny Islands. Just like Sora, he's the oldest kid in the bunch, but doesn't throw his weight around. When his brothers or sister need something, he's there to make sure they're taken care of. Titus or Titus, a confident Titus or Titus or Titus or Tutus, a confident, athletic boy who lives on the Disney Islands like Sora. He's almost always in good spirits. Trying to bring Titus down is like trying to fall up. Trying to bring Titus down or Titus down is like trying to fall up. Sid, a man with a gift for technology who's as good a pilot as he is an engineer. Once, Sid called another world home, just before that world was lost to darkness. He gathered up what children he could save, and together they fled to Traverse Town. Huey, one of Donald's 3 nephews. Can't tell Huey apart from the others? Just look for the red clothes. He thinks it's his job to keep Dewey and Louie in line, but in Traverse Town, it's really Sid who looks after all 3 of them. Dewey, one of Donald's 3 nephews. Can't pick Dewey out of the crowd? He's the one in the blue clothes. Dewey is the brains of the bunch, so even though he doesn't always mind Sid, he knows an opportunity to learn when he sees one. And Louie, one of Donald's 3 nephews. Not sure which one is Louie. Keep an eye out for the green clothes. Louie is the most laid back of the 3, but if you ask Sid, who looks after them, that's not saying much. Leon, or, I forgot his actual name. Squall, I think? Okay. Leon, but secretly, his real name is Squall, I think. Don't need me, Final Fantasy fans. I'm trying my best. A swordsman from Radiant Garden. When he was still a boy, his home was lost to darkness, and he was forced to flee with Sid and the other children to Traverse Town. He no longer uses his real name, a symbolic farewell to the little boy who was not strong enough. Later, Leon would fight against the forces of darkness more than once, but thanks to Sora, he can now focus on rebuilding his home. Yuffie, a ninja girl who hails from Radiant Garden. Her home was beset by darkness when she was still very little, and she had to flee with Sid to Traverse Town. But someone as cheerful as Yuffie would never let this show. After meeting Sora in Traverse Town, she fought bravely alongside him against the darkness, and now she is back in Radiant Garden, hard at work rebuilding. Alice, a girl Alice, a girl who wandered into Wonderland quite by accident. Perhaps her curiosity was to blame, but then how can one not admire Alice's unyielding spirit when faced with such overwhelming oddness? The bugs in the datascape scrambled her memory and left her scratching her head, but in the end she and Sora managed to set everything right. The Cheshire cat, a strange feline from Wonderland whose unnerving grin and absurd interjections leave even the best conversationalist struggling to keep up. As if that weren't maddening enough, the Cheshire cat tends to vanish into thin air almost as suddenly as he pops out of it. White Rabbit, a retainer in the service of Wonderland's ruler, the Queen of Hearts. The bugs in the datascape messed with the White Rabbit's memories, but luckily for him, he at least had the good sense to remember the Queen was no one to trifle with. The Queen of Hearts, the selfish ruler of Wonderland, who has a whole army of card soldiers at her command. Rub her the wrong way. No, not that kind of rub, and it's off with your head. If you're lucky, you might be granted a trial, preferably beforehand. After the bugs caused her memory to fail her, the Queen quickly decided Sora and Alice were to blame. Card Soldier. Soldiers in the service of Wonderland's ruler, the Queen of Hearts. Seeing as they are quite fond of keeping their heads attached to their shoulders, they make a point not to defy her. Hercules, a hero whose kind heart and bursting at the seam biceps have won him the admiration of the Olympus Colosseum crowds. Despite being the son of a god, he lives down on Earth as a mortal. Hercules was already inside the Colosseum investigating when Sora showed up. Later, the two joined forces and together got to the bottom of the bugs. Hercules, more like Huncules from the movie. I mean, seriously, that guy is super jacked. He has biceps that are bigger than hams. Philoctetes, a world-renowned trainer who runs the show at Olympus Coliseum. He trained a whole slew of heroes in his time, a lot of yusses, with Hercules being his most recent protege. After the bugs transformed the Coliseum into a strange labyrinth, Phil had to turn to Sora for help sorting the mess out. Hades, the god of the underworld, a former and still inspiring world conqueror that would like nothing more than to see Hercules wiped off the face of the planet. With the Colosseum a tangle of bugs, and Cloud a tangle of emotional issues and big swords. He ought to have found a way, but Sora showed up just in time to show him up and prove once again that sliminess doesn't pay, or sarcasm. Cloud, a Buster Sword-wielding soldier whose past failures continued to weigh on him. Also that sword. Believing himself weak, Cloud sought out the secrets of a hero's strength, as well as the secret darkness might hold. Hades tried to use these desires against him, but once Cloud realized he was being manipulated for, 151 times, he wisely joined forces with Sora and Hercules. Aladdin, a young man who lives in the desert city of Agrabah and dreams of the day he could be with Princess Jasmine. but Aladdin proved to be an obstacle to Jafar's evil plans and was banished to the desert. There, through a truly wild stroke of luck, he happened upon the Cave of Wonders, obtained, obtained the lag- la, 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 obtained the magic lamp and became the genie's new master. Jasmine, a young woman from the desert city of Agrabah, who was just ha- a young woman from the desert city of Agrabah, who just happened to be its princess. Stifled by palace life, she was drawn towards the freedom of the streets and a young man named Aladdin. Jafar, newly empowered by the bugs, had designs on Jasmine, but Sora saved her from her flight. The Genie, a bubbly blue, boisterous character who lives inside the magic lamp. He has great power and will grant just 3 wishes to each of his masters. What are those things? But not all masters have good intentions. As for Genie's own wishes, well, those he cannot make come true. In the datascape, Genie met Aladdin after the boy was banished to the desert by Jafar, and they became fast friends. Jafar, a wizard who served as royal vice. Let me take a sip. Jafar, a wizard who served as royal visor in Agrabah's palace. The bugs plaguing the Datascape version of Agrabah provided Jafar with just the tool he needed to seize the throne, a fake lamp Pete created from data. Later, Jafar used the real lamp, stolen from Aladdin, to become an all-powerful genie. In the end, though, he was imprisoned within yet another lamp, his own. Jafar Genie. The all-powerful Genie Jafar became by using the power of the magic lamp. He sought to conquer Agrabah, and with Iago at his side, nearly triumphed over Sora. In the end, though, he was imprisoned within his own lamp. Iago, Jafar's henchman, a cunning parrot who doesn't know when to shut up, and is voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. Hopefully I said his name right. With Jafar plotting to take over Agrabah, Iago must have been busy flying around the city and making trouble, like stealing birdseed and eating cake. Maleficent, a terrifying evil fairy who commands dark magic. On one of Sora's previous adventures, Maleficent led the hordes of darkness in an attempt to conquer all worlds. It was her servant Pete who led her to this strange new world. While unaware of its true nature, she could see the potential it holds for steaming over other worlds in darkness. Pete, a troublemaker who once lived in the same world as King Mickey, Donald, and friends, but after mouthing off and getting temporarily banished, Pete was approached by Maleficent and became her loyal servant. This datascape isn't the datascape isn't the first place he has meddled with, but now that he's wandered in, he is hoping this will finally be his ticket to ruling a world or two. Riku, Sora's best friend. They grew up together on the Destiny Islands, but Riku was so desperate to leave their small, stifling home that he succumbed to the darkness. Eventually, he and Sora clashed. Fortunately, he met Mickey. With his new friend's help, Riku learned to turn his wrongs into rights, and eventually became one of Sora's greatest unseen allies. Kairi, a girl born in Radiant Garden, life carried her to the Destiny Islands, where she met Sora and Riku. Kairi is a princess of heart, and the forces of darkness tried to bend the pure light within her to sinister purposes. For a long time, she and Sora For a long time, she and Sora and Riku were separated. After a long journey, though, they were brought back together, their lives at last normal again. Question mark. A boy who used cards to guide Sora in the Datascape version of Castle Oblivion. While he bears an uncanny resemblance to another boy deeply connected to Sora, it is more than coat and hood that prevents Sora from seeing. Was this boy just a phantom, a glitch, Or does this data tie into hurtful memories that sleep within Sora's heart? Nominate a special nobody who counterpart. Nominate a special no. Ooh, I got a trophy called Professor. Nominate a special nobody whose counterpart is Kairi. Organization 13 exploited Nomine's unique powers to alter Sora's memories, but his true heart moved her to betray them. For Sora's memories to be repaired, he had to enter a long sleep. During that time, Namine found hurtful memories hiding deep in his heart. Hoping their story might come to light, she added a message to Jiminy's journal. And that's it. Alright. And that's the end. Alright, so, yeah. This is the end of the final part in Kingdom Hearts Recoded Movie Watch-Along. So thank you guys for watching the movie with me, and see you next time. This is Pikachu Master 542 signing out. Peace. Sorry. Oh, let me drink some water first. Okay, let me try that again. Take 2. Alright, so thank you guys for watching Kingdom Hearts Recoded Movie Watch-Along with me. Hope you all have a great week, and see you next time. This is Pikachu Master 542 signing out. Peace. Have a great week. Bye. Pika, 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 Pikachu, Pika.